Today we're going to talk about how important it is to choose the right referral partners. There's nothing worse than having the wrong attorney, the wrong lender, the wrong realtor working for you. Because if any one of those people drops the ball on your transaction, you might not make it to the closing table. So we're just going to go on a rant today of all the things that could possibly go wrong if you choose the wrong referral partners. We're going to start with the wrong realtor. So your realtor or your real estate agent needs to have connections to good attorneys and good lenders. There's nothing worse than a realtor who can't refer you to lenders and attorneys that they know are going to work in your favor and be available and make sure that they answer the phone for you when you call. These things are super important because real estate doesn't stop. So your lender or attorney or realtor being on vacation should not have any type of effect on your transaction. So working with the wrong realtor, they don't do their research, they're not doing their due diligence properly for you, they're not building connections in their industry that will guarantee you a smooth transaction. Most times when you're looking for a home, people will start with the realtor. Your realtor is going to refer you to the lender and the attorney, so you want to make sure they have great connections. The next thing is, if you don't have a lender who's a good lender, so you can't just work with whoever, you're going to want to check a few different banks, a few different establishments to try and connect with one who can provide you with a loan product that works best for you. And not only that, but a lender who has a team around them that can pick up the ball where someone else may drop it. If your loan officer goes on vacation or is unavailable for any reason, there should be someone else in their office or in their company that can step in and help make sure that your loan is being processed as it should be, considering that dates are the most important thing in real estate. If you don't meet your dates, you're in breach of contract. That's a problem. You could lose deposits. So you're going to want a lender who is local. I prefer the local lenders because I can just walk into the office and be like, what's going on? And, get answers. You want a lender who's very responsive and a lender who has resources where if they're not available, someone else can help you. As far as your closing attorney, this one, I wouldn't say it's the most important of the three, but they are the ones who get you to the finish line. Your lender's going to get you your realtor's going to get you your lender's going to get you your pre-approval, and then your attorney is going to be the one who legally defends you from the time you sign the purchase and sale agreement to the moment you close. If anything goes wrong with the transaction in between there, it's your attorney who's going to be the one who goes back and forth and makes sure everything works out in your favor. So if your attorney doesn't answer the phone, responds to emails 2-3 days later, that could be a major problem for you where, again, real estate is all about deadlines. You need to make sure that the people who work for you are available for you when you need them. You need to make sure that they have professionalism, and this is with all three. If each of these three people who are there to hold your hand throughout this transaction have no sense of professionalism, then there's going to be conflict among them. And that's no good either. So that's why, I'll never push a client to work with my lender. I'll never push a client to work with my attorney. But I do explain the importance of having a team around you that knows each other, that works well together, and that all can respond to each other properly. And that circle of professionalism and that connection is what's going to make your transaction go even smoother. Prime example, let's talk about a little horror story. I had a client who chose the wrong attorney and the wrong lender. And when I say wrong, I mean the attorney was unresponsive. I didn't even hear from this person until like almost a week before we closed, which is unheard of in real estate considering it's the two of us going back and forth negotiating on behalf of the buyers. That makes no sense. Where has this attorney been the entire time? When this attorney did decide to show up and be helpful with the transaction, their attitude the entire time was completely unprofessional and quite rude, to be honest. So that's a problem because I now know whenever I move forward and I have buyers, I'm never referring any of my buyers to that attorney because he didn't do a good job with the person who used him knows him, which is even crazier. This is your friend or a family member that knows you and is still not doing what they're supposed to do to make sure your transaction gets to the closing table, which is crazy because the closing table is in the attorney's office. So you want to make sure you've got a really good attorney. As far as having the wrong lender, another horror story, I had a client who hired a lender or decided to work with this particular lender to get their loan, and the loan originator they initially were working with just disappeared somehow. I think they got fired like a week into the transaction, and a lot of the promises that they made to the buyers were not valid. So now we had to go and find someone else who could achieve all of what the other lender promised, and that was not fun. It was not easy for the buyers. It wasn't easy for me. It wasn't easy for anyone. So when it comes to real estate, the market's hard enough. The last thing you need is your own partners in your transaction making it harder for you. So be sure, whether you decide to work with me as your buyer agent or any other agent, it doesn't matter. Make sure that that agent is taking care of you and is connecting you with proper channels to make sure that you make it to the closing table and get to move into your dream home. So if you're looking for an agent who works hard, give me a call today, because obviously I'm working hard to make sure that you're educated. I'll do the same thing when I'm your agent and you're my client. So hopefully this video was helpful for you today, and talk to you later.